Hello everybody, I am Shabbos and welcome back to Let's Play Nox. Meteor, bringing flaming meteor crashing down wherever you desire. Awesome. Okay, so we're still here in the Field of Valor, where we finished up last time. I know that we finished up at the shop last time, but I just brought us here to save the time. Right, okay, so there's no going back now. There we go. I love these little things. You've reached your limit. Alright. Let's go. If I can get through these. Onwards we go. Now I have a meteor as well. Cool. That's quite effective, isn't it? Alright, so it's G. Cool. I like it already. I love it. Meteor is awesome. Okay. Let's get moving. Slide leader. There we go. I'm still getting used to the controls. So, as I said, I've never played a Conjurer before, so maybe, you know, might take me a while to get used to it. There we go. Problem solved. Skelly dead. Alright, that's in there. Skelly right there. Okay, I didn't mean to use a potion there. Trixie Swarm is still a handy spell, even now. Hang on a second. Let's see. Beastery. Okay, not really much that I can charm in here, I have to admit. Alright, let's keep moving. I love this game. This is awesome. I wish that there was more games like it made, to be honest. Okay. Meteor. There we go. And he's still moving. Well, he's tough. Okay. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Right. Okay, that worked pretty good. Alright, let's move on. I'll pick up that shield if you don't mind. I'll sell it. Might not use it, but I can sell it. Now, where exactly are we going? We're going down again, aren't we? Hello there, Mr. Skelly. I'll be coming back for you very soon. Did he just block it? Okay, I see. It's gonna be like that, is it? Where they can block my projectiles. Well, they can block certain projectiles. Nothing in there. Okay. Spiders. Think that they can come along and just kill me. They've got another thing coming. Those skeletons are gonna have one hell of a headache tomorrow. There we go. Right, okay. Where the hell did you come from? Never mind. I will torch you. Hey! There we go. Well, that trap works like a charm. Lots of potions around. Ah! Boom, baby! As they say. Right, what else have we got here? Nothing in there. Right, okay. Where did that little spider come from? Scratch that, I don't really care. Fucking ghosts paralyzing me, how dare you? Well then, I'll smack him instead, how about that? Okay, coast seems clear enough. Continuing on over this way. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I'm getting good with this. I'm getting good with spell casting stuff. I like it. Let him come to me. Boom. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Meteor rules. Meteor is an awesome spell. Love it. Nothing. Ah, no. There we go. At least I can recharge in here. Ah. Shit. Okay, Do-ra. Boom. Frickin' spiders. There we go. Now, just recharge up. There we go. Okay, I think I've just about got the hang of this whole spell thing. There we go. I just love blowing shit up. Oh, shit there. Thank you. Even though I probably won't be able to carry it all. Now, we will go and see in the other area. Right, smack bang in the middle. Oh, still doesn't work. Okay. And here, I see something shiny. But no, nothing there. Okay. Let's move on. Hello. Now, let's see. Right, we've got plenty of potions anyway, so we're doing okay. Oh, twofer! Love it. I really like this game. I just think that it was really well done in a sense that it what's this? Slow. Deprive a creature of its speed for a few moments. I'm probably not going to use it too often. I can't see myself using that too often, I'll be honest. Okay. Let's smack up these a little bit. We're down here. There we go. Super. Okay, so now... Ah, fuck off. Oh, yeah! I love it. My staff is getting a little bit battered, I have to admit. Let me just grab that. Nope, nothing else here. Right, moving on. Let's go deeper into this place. Hang on, charge up first. Ah yes, the necromancer.
Yes! Yes! Oh, rise my infernal minions! Mindless zombies! You will obey me and only me, for I am your one and only master. What? Hey, you fools! Obey me! Obey me! Damn!
Yeah, that really worked.
Beware. Human eyes are upon us.
What strange sorcery allows a human to be here undetected? To steal my orb? Never! You shall die in this tomb, then join the ranks of my invincible undead legions.
Yeah. All talk.
It will be your honor to serve, Hecuba human. But first, you need to die.
So you say. Alright, time to save.
You didn't belong.
Yeah, that really didn't work according to plan at all. Okay. XC. God damn it. Alright, where is he going? Ah. Gotcha!
May have stopped me, but you'll never leave this crypt alive.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Well, that was tough enough. Again, probably due to me being used to using a warrior, but it worked. Book of Burn. Scorches your oppressors with a patch of flame. Okay. Right. I'm going to bombard. Whoop. Zombie. At least I don't have to worry about not having enchantments for burning zombies. Okay, that's quite powerful by the looks of it. I'll stick with Meteor for now. Right. And in here, nothing very much. Potion there. Uh-oh. Captain, of course. Or warrior, whatever you want to call him. Well, whatever he is, he's dead now. Oh, crap. Right. I'll just run back here. Recharge. So I've only got 4 potions left, so I want to hold on to them for a while. Now, where is he? Dead. 3 for that time. Never gets old. Never gets old. Okay, you can follow me. Pick up that. I like the way that you get these sort of recharge stations. They're very handy. At least, like, you know, you're not sort of suffering from lack of potions when it comes to spellcasting. That I would not like. Okay, what have we got here? More tombs. And a bit of gold behind there. That'll do, thank you. Boom. And nothing behind there. That'll do. Just bonk him. Close enough. Right. Now, if I remember, we have to go and get the keys, don't we? Alright, so that's exactly what we're going to do. I'd love to see more games in this kind of style. You know, it's not all about the action, but it's got kind of the gameplay of an action RPG, but it's not an action RPG as such. I'd really like to see more sort of games designed like this, because when you see a game that's designed like this, like the camera and the whole entire UI, it's kind of in a sense where, you know, you automatically think, okay, Diablo, and then you're kind of like, well, this is not going to live up to expectations. And the thing is that you don't have to go for that with such games. You can do something like this. You know, you don't have to go for the Diablo sort of gameplay at all if you don't want to. You can actually make a pretty good game that is pretty heavily story based, and you know, without it being Diablo. It can just be a game of its own, and I think Westwood had balls doing that, especially when it came to the fact that it was so close to the release of Diablo 2 as well. I think that they had guts to go and make a game like this, and it is a really good game. I just wish that, you know, more developers would sort of go for this side of things. You know, that it's more about story, it's more about, you know, about what's going on and the impact on the actual world, as opposed to going for the full-blown, you know, just concentrating on, you know, killing things, which is, you know, your Diablo. And the thing is that Diablo has nobody can really be bothered to make a game like this because it didn't do well. And when people see that a game like this hasn't done well, they kind of turn around and say, "Oh no, this is not going to do well. If I make one, I'm going to be panned." But it's not that. It's not the fact that if you make one of these type of games, it's going to be panned. It's not. It's just the fact that this game came out at the wrong time. It came out about either the same year or about 6 months after Diablo 2 was released, which is just, you know, you can see how that was going to always not go well. So yeah, I mean, like, there are people that like this style. I mean, now if you look at GOG, look at the reviews, look at people's, you know, comments about it and everything else, it's very, very positive, and I would love to see another game that kind of goes in the veins of this, and, you know, where it takes this kind of style, but it's more sort of story based and about a story as opposed to, you know, just pure action and grinding your way up. Like, at the end of the day, like, the max level you can achieve in this is 10. And I quite like that, because it means that you don't have to grind, and it doesn't matter. You know, you can always progress in the story. You don't have to sit around and grind at enemies or try and get better equipment before proceeding, because you'll just get fucking slaughtered if you don't. You know, there's, you know, you can just constantly progress. Like, you know, there's parts that are going to be hard, but there's always parts that you can just progress as well. You know, you're never going to be stuck. There's never going to be an enemy that is so hard that it's literally impossible to proceed, like in Diablo. You know what I mean? It's a much more story-driven kind of game as opposed to the likes of Diablo, but it takes on the same kind of gameplay style as Diablo, and I think that it works really, really well. Because, you know, you don't have to, like, you know, I think people have this sort of idea that if you're going to make a game that looks like Diablo, it has to be like Diablo, and I don't think that's true. You know, I mean, you can use the same kind of interface, you know, user interface, but you don't have to, you know, you don't have to make it like Diablo where you have like 500 million different weapons and armor and things like that. You can do it pretty standard and just play normally. You know what I mean? You know, just have a story there, have a short game. Like, you know, this isn't a very long game. It's long enough, but it's not very long. You know, and even then, like, you don't have to go in the same sort of direction as this one, where the story changes slightly with each class. You could instead just make it a longer game as opposed to making a separate sort of storyline for each character. You know, there's so many choices out there when it comes to a game like this that, you know, and I think people just need to get out of this Diablo thing, where people believe that all action RPGs have to be like Diablo, because that's not true at all. I mean, like, Sacred has proven that. Like, Sacred is not a Diablo clone. It is not. It has a lot of differences from Diablo, and, you know, I mean, you can't call Sacred a Diablo clone in any shape or form, because it's very, very different from Diablo in many respects. So you can't really sort of turn around saying Sacred's like Diablo, because it's not really. Like, Diablo's not open world, is it? There's my point. You know, Diablo's not open world. Sacred is. It takes on kind of similar respects to Diablo, but it is done differently. Yet nobody complained about that. Nobody turned around and said about Sacred, Sacred, like, you know, Sacred's a copy of Diablo. Nobody went on about that now, did they? No. So, you know, I think it's bullshit that all that was said when it came to this. You know, I just think that it's absolute balls. There, I said it. Balls. You know, and I think more games like this should be made. I really do. Because I think this is fantastic. I think Westwood did a great job on this, and I think that any indie developer could do just as equally a good job on this. Because, like, it's not hard, because you don't need a massive, you know, you don't need a massive budget or anything like that, because, you know, you don't need lots and lots of items. You need maybe, you know, you need a couple of spells, things like that, but you don't need like hundreds and hundreds of items. You don't need different variations of items like sets and unique items. You can put them in if you want, but, you know, you don't need all that. It doesn't, to make a game like this does not require the same budget as a full-blown Diablo-esque RPG, action RPG. Like, look at The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. The amount of time and money that probably went into that game is phenomenal, because there's so many items and so many different armor, weapons and everything, and so many different enemies, that the amount of time that must have gone into it is absolutely phenomenal. But that's because it goes in the Diablo ways. It goes in more of a Diablo sense as opposed to the way that this was designed. And I really think that there is a market for games like this that are, you know, because there's people out there that like the way that Diablo is played, but they don't like how it runs, if you get what I mean by that. It, as in, like, they don't like the idea of having to grind and having to, you know, having to literally grind your way up levels and things like that to proceed further in the game. It's, you know, that's very off-putting for people, and that's why they don't, you know, they prefer maybe games like this. So I don't think there's any harm whatsoever in making a game like this. I think that there is a market for it out there. I just think that somebody needs to just go out there and do it, because I think that there would be a good market for it. I think, you know, I'd be one of the first to buy it. If I heard that a game like this was being made, I'd be one of the first to go out there and say, yep, I'm buying that, because, you know, you're essentially delivering a game that is in a style of Diablo, but you are bringing in a whole different perspective to it at the same time. Now I'm going to have to run back and recharge because I've only got 5 potions left. I want to try and keep them topped up. You know, you're essentially giving the player the Diablo style of gameplay, as in the way the UI, the user interface is, the way that the leveling system is, the side quests, things like that. But you're also giving them something that Diablo didn't, and that is the fact that there is quite a detailed story there. Diablo's story is pretty basic in comparison to this, to be honest with you. It's literally like, you know, I know this is kind of kill the bad guy kind of thing, but, you know, there's a lot more history there. Like, how should I put it? This game focuses more on story. I suppose that's the best way that I could put this. The developer focused more on the story than the action, whilst with Diablo it was the other way around. There was more focus on the action and the gameplay as opposed to the actual story. Now, I'm not saying don't be getting, you know, all huffy puffy anybody because I'm saying that Diablo doesn't have a story. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just I'm trying my best to explain what it is I'm trying to say. And I think what I'm trying to say is, or the best way that I can describe what I'm trying to say, is that this is more story driven, whilst Diablo was more all about the action. That's what I'm trying to say. So don't be sort of getting all defensive. Oh no, he's saying that Diablo doesn't have a story, or the Diablo story is crap. No, I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm just trying my best to kind of explain the difference between this and Diablo. That's essentially what I am trying to do here. Okay, I'm carrying way too much. Can I wear that? No, I can't wear it now. Well, that sucks. As you can see, I can't carry as much as a Conjurer either. So yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with taking the approach of, you know, the story approach to an action RPG. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I think it's actually a really good way of doing it. I just sort of wish that more developers would maybe take the route that Nox did and make more games like Nox. But it's just, as I said, like, Nox was not a very successful game. Again, it just, as I said, it came out at the bloody wrong time, which is unfortunate because it really is a good game. But unfortunately, yeah, it's just a case that it came out at the completely wrong time, and that was like, you know, around the time that Diablo 2 was released, and unfortunately it didn't get the success that it deserved. It didn't get the attention it deserved. It didn't get pretty much anything that it deserved, and because people were just too bloody obsessed with Diablo 2, to be honest. And I mean, like, I'm not sort of ditching Diablo 2 players here in any shape or form, because Diablo 2 is a phenomenal game, without a doubt. It was arguably the best in the series. It's kind of, for me, it's a mixture between the first and the second. I'm not really sure. I can't really say which I prefer. They both have, you know, they're really good features, but overall, I think, you know, like, you know, it's not that I'm trying to ditch Diablo here at all, because I think that both Diablos are great games, so please don't get me wrong on that. I am not in any way trying to say that Diablo was a shit game. That is not my intentions here, nor would I want to do that, because I think that they're good games. What I'm trying to say is that there's a big difference between this and Diablo, because Diablo is, without a doubt, a more action oriented game. The developers focused more on the actual, you know, the combat in the game, whilst here it's more about the story. And I just really wish that more developers would kind of take on this approach to making games, because it's, you know, I really think that there's a market for you know, for this kind of game, the action RPG story, you know, but more story focused. I just think that there is a market for it, and I just think that more people need to go by that, because everybody's trying to go, like, you know, since, you know, the indie boom, there has been quite a few different action RPGs released as of over the past while. I mean, we've had Van Helsing being released. We've had another one. I think it's either Lezabel or Isabel or something like that. I can't tell if it's an L or an I. But, you know, there's been that, and I'm sure there's others out there that I just don't know of. And, you know, they all take on the Diablo approach, and that's fine. I mean, you know, Grim Dawn, another one. Like, you know, that's fine. I have no issue with that. I just wish that somebody would kind of go, hold on a minute, maybe we should go with a more story approach like Nox did. Well, they may not have heard of Nox, but you know what I'm trying to say. I just wish that they'd go more for this approach, because, you know, I mean, when you're an indie developer and you're trying to make your game, you know, it's not easy. It's very costly for anybody. It doesn't matter. You know, I mean, yeah, there's Kickstarter and everything else, but, you know, in order to have Kickstarter, you need to have a game to show, and that costs money. And, you know, when you don't have the money and you have nobody to really back you up, it can be hard to get your game started. And I find that with something like this, it wouldn't cost as much, because you don't have to, there's not as much art, there's not as much modelling to do, there's not as much animation to do as there will be in your standard action RPG. So in a way, I think this, like, you know, if you want to go down that road of development where you're going for the more action RPG style, like, you know, if it's going to be your first one, try something like this, because there's nothing too difficult about it, in the sense that, you know, you don't need hundreds of dollars, like, you know, thousands of dollars of money to you know, create the basics and things like that, because there's not huge, tremendous amounts of animation involved like there is with a full-blown action RPG that focuses more on combat, because there's not as many enemies, there's not as many items or weapons or skills or anything like that. It's, you know, it's kind of like a downsize from Diablo, but you're making more of a story. You're focusing more on story than in something like Diablo, which is just more about action and leveling and grinding, and, you know. So yeah, I think that more people should definitely go down the routes of Nox, particularly if they like the idea of making an action RPG and it's their first game. Go for something like this that's a little bit more story based, because it really doesn't cost half as much to actually make as something like this would, because it's a different beast altogether. But that's just, you know, that's my opinion. You don't have to take my advice, but, you know, like, you can go ahead and tell me to shove it for all I care, but, you know, that's just my honest opinion. I do think that more people should, you know, think about making their games a little bit more like this, because it doesn't hurt. Now, there's nothing wrong with making an action RPG style game, but making it kind of, now how the hell am I supposed to get that? But making it more, you know, story driven. See how I have no idea how I'm meant to get that staff at all. I really don't. Because it's really in the middle. Okay, sorry, 1 second. Okay. Right, I have no idea how we're gonna get that staff, because it is miles away. Oh crap. Yeah, I knew something like that was gonna happen. Can I blast it down, I wonder? Can I shoot it down? Fire something. Hang on a second. Right, let me just. I would have thought that would have moved it. Okay. I forgot I could jump. I keep forgetting that I can actually jump. Now we're talking. Can I smack things with this too? Boom! Yeah! I love it. Okay, so we can go up that way and we can go up this way. Now I've actually run on longer than I should have with this episode, that's for sure. So I'm gonna finish up now in a second, and then we'll finish this place in the next part for sure. Not getting flattened by that this time. That is for sure. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm going to leave it here for this part, guys, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and have fun.